Hey everyone, it's Brandy and you are watching Abstract Crafter. I have a fun little video today. I thought today, why don't we review what I deem is the world's smallest A, colored pencils, and B, like paint by number, but colored pencil by number. It look at how cute and tiny it is. So, if you're as curious as I am what this little kit contains and what my thoughts are, then just keep on watching and we will get into that as soon as we roll the intro credits. Why, hello friends. So, I found this at Walmart. It is so tiny. This isn't even the size of a standard sheet of paper. Here's a standard sheet of paper, printer paper. And that's how it fits on there. There's those colored pencils. Here's like a standard colored pencil. Look at that. You could fit like all of those pencils into the size of one. Well, okay. That's exaggerating. You could fit like 3.5. So I thought, why don't we check this out together and see what it's all about. And then I can even demonstrate it a little bit. I'll zoom in and we'll get nice and close and see what it's all about. So why don't we do that now, zoom in, because it's so tiny. Like I said, I got this at Walmart. It was $1, like 98 cents or 99 cents or something like that. So very inexpensive. And the teeny tiny little colored pencils are what kind of grabbed my eye. And it's Royal and Langnickel, and I see these at Hobby Lobby all the time, like the bigger color pencil by numbers. And I do quite enjoy stuff like this, obviously, doing other people's artwork, like paint by number, color by number, diamond painting, cross stitching, all of that kind of stuff. So this is right in there with my, it's right up my alley. So if we take a look at the back, it gives us some really tiny instructions, and I have read through them, so I'll talk them over with you. And it does have like the little, like a miniature color chart. And full disclosure, I did open this already. But I had to check it out so I knew what I was talking about. And they had a bunch of different pictures. I wanted this butterfly. Because butterflies. So let's dig into this and just see what it's actually... I cannot get over how tiny these colored pencils are. They're just so adorable. Like, you'll probably hear me say that a million times. Before I try to figure out how to open those, let's pull this out. So one thing that I found was very unique about these kits, and that I like a lot, and I wish more companies would do this, is that they have the overlay, the number overlay, and they just suggest adding a little bit of tape to it, so you don't have to worry about your numbers peeking through onto your where you're coloring. I wish a lot more paint by numbers were like this, because it would make things so much easier. So I do see that they also have a couple of mixtures. That'll be interesting in how that works, and we'll kind of work on some of this together. I'll do most of it off camera and then come back and show you the finished project, but let's just set that over here. We'll keep it kind of close. So each one of these little teeny tiny pencils has a number on it that should coordinate with on there. Oh, I guess it doesn't have a cover. I just assumed. Alright, let's just pop one of these guys out. I'm really curious as to the quality of the... Oh my gosh. This is going to be fun trying to figure out how to hold such a tiny little pencil. So here's my pinky. It's not even as big as my pinky. And I have small little pinky fingers. So now that we have more of the package, here is a standard colored pencil. I can't even, like, let's just set it down. Here, there we go. Look at that. Wow. Even just the thickness of them is insane. But, I mean, they look like they're decent quality. I guess we can test that out. I don't even know. I'm like, how would you even sharpen such a tiny pencil? But, again, so they do have... Come on. Focus in on it. They do have the numbers stamped on them. This guy obviously has quite a different pencil that he's holding on to. So I'm guessing these are supposed to be like the swatches. So I kind of wanted to test that part out and see how close they are to what they're advertising. And then, yeah, we'll actually color on that. Oh, I'm just so afraid I'm going to break it as I'm trying to get these out. We'll actually try the paper here. It seems like really nice paper. I'll give you a close-up. It's nice and textured. I don't know how well that works. I'm not like a real artist. And by that I mean I don't typically draw my own pictures and then add color to them. Like I said, I usually like to use other people's artwork and color it in like this. I don't know, once upon a time I used to be an artist, and then as a teenager, you know, I became more about my friends and I stopped drawing, and then all the interest was gone. So I want to test them a little bit. It might not be completely as accurate as I'm hoping because this paper is different than the paper that comes with it. You can see it's very shiny and smooth, and this is not shiny, it's textured. So, but let's test them out. Let's see what kind of quality we're working with. And I do apologize if you can hear the wind. We're in the middle of like that big storm that's going around. And I thought, what better thing to do than test out miniature color by number, colored pencil by number, excuse me. Right. Pretty pigmented. I mean, as far as colored pencils go, I mean, I'm not like the best person to review colored pencils, as like I said, I do very little work with them. It's really hard to get like a good grip on them. Like, I don't really know how to hold them because they're so small. I almost want to grab like a protractor because they have that little like grip in there for pencils. Where's 3? Yeah, I can't hold, like, my typical way to hold a pencil is using my fingers like that, and then but these ones are just weird. I can't hold them like that. They're too small. I feel like they're falling out. I don't know how to color with these. It's gonna make things interesting. You know, this probably isn't the best paper, but to test these on, but it's all I have right here, besides that computer paper, which I don't want to use. Oh, see, now I would have thought this was purple. Oh, I guess if I'd have looked at the bottom. Let's see what number 4 is. Where is number 4? Oh, that was number 4. Jesus, count today. I just learned how to count yesterday, I guess. Okay, 5, 6. These are some pretty bad swatches. But they do say that you can blend these with your finger. I have a tortillon. I did bring something up to help me blend. A blending stump, we'll just say. I don't know, like I said, how well they'll blend on here, but we'll be able to get an idea of how pigmented or how unpigmented these are just based on that. You're supposed to be able to mix these together, so I wanted to try a little bit of that before we actually attempt to color on the only sheet I have. I guess for $1, if I mess up, I could go get another one. So I have a blending stump. It's got a lot of my dog's hair on it. So I just thought we could see if it would blend anything. And again, like I said, it could be the paper that's not going to allow the pigment to get pulled out. And you can soften it a little bit with your hands more than with this thing. I guess it does soften it a little bit, but I'm ripping the paper. I'm trying so hard. All right, let's see. Let's just do this. Let's try. We'll take this purple. I'll go really light, and we'll just see how well they blend. And then we'll go into the blue. Oops, that was a little far away. So I guess that does kind of blend, but... And you can do this a couple of ways. You can blend just like that. Getting artist tips from a non-artist. You can blend with this thing. You could take a white colored pencil. I do have a clear colored pencil, or a clear, I guess it wouldn't be a colored pencil now, would it? I have a colorless blender. I didn't grab it because I didn't think it would really be necessary for this. So I mean, you get a little bit of a blend. Let's see if I can get that up close to you. But I mean, it's not really meant to be a professional kit. It's meant to be for fun, I guess. So I think I'm gonna take this off, this thing here, and then we'll try adding a little bit of color down onto this and just see what happens. And then I will come back a little bit later on when I am done with this and show you the finished product. I mean, it's $1, so at this rate, I'd say, yeah, it's probably worth it if you just want a little fun project to do. I don't think it would take you more than a day, maybe 2. And then they did say you could take an eraser to soften the color. I just didn't know if that would soften the color or just completely take the color away. So it does seem to soften it a little bit, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's just move this. I probably should have done that to begin with, but hey, I'm not thinking. All right. And I didn't really match them up too well to this, because like the 9 looks more like an olive green, and that looks like more of a bright brown. Could be the paper. Can't really say. A lot of the colors don't really seem to match. Like this is a lot more lime green than this 8 is. But, let's grab our little teeny tiny colored pencils here and put a couple colors down. I want to do one where it's mixed, and I won't do this big area. I mean, it's not that it's that big, but we'll do a couple of these smaller areas and just see. I'll try to do at least one of every color on camera, at least. I've never really, I've done one of these types of kits, the colored pencil or the Royal and Langnickel. I've eyed them up a lot at Hobby Lobby, and they like to rotate through their stuff. Like one day, they'll have paper crafts on sale for 40 to 60% off, and then other days they'll have other things. So on the days when they have these kits half off, I always kind of want to get them, but I don't really know what to expect either. And it's significantly more than the $1 I paid for this. So let's see. You can see here that there's a couple of small spots of just single color. So let's see. Looks like this little line here is 6. So let's see. Oh my gosh. This might be easier for kids, but this pattern, this design seems a little bit more involved than, like more detailed than a kid would really have patience for. So I don't really know. It says it's for 8 and up, but I really honestly can't see an 8-year-old having the patience for some of this. maybe an 8-year-old could hold these pencils better. Who knows? I mean, they are going on super smooth, so there's that. Wow. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't push down as hard as I would like to push down just because I'm afraid I'm going to break this. So let's see if I can spread the pigment around a little. I don't know. I think I do have to just try to push harder. And of course, you know, the angle I'm at, it's not really ideal for doing this detailed colored pencil work. Sorry if my messy hair keeps flowing in the screen. I'm trying really hard not to let that happen. Okay. Okay. So that was 6. Let's move that over there. So it looks like 5 is this little spot here. So let's see where 5 is. 4, 5. It's this little area here. So now I know I can put a little bit more pressure down. I will try, some of these are, I don't know. I couldn't even see my 12-year-old having the patience for this, let alone an 8-year-old. I mean, yeah, I mean, the color payoff is pretty good, actually. And this is coming from somebody who is not an artist, is just a normal consumer, kind of the target market for this kind of thing. I don't know if I like how small these pencils are. I think they're more, I think it's more of a novelty than anything, and I might go through my collection and try to substitute out these colors just because they are so hard, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. I do have some decent colored pencils. I have for my collection, probably better than these. Maybe too good for these, I don't know. Where's one? Oh, it's yellow, I forget. So then I'll lay this color down, and then we'll try doing a little bit of the blending. Like 8 and 7 should go here. I'm assuming that's what that means. And they don't really, I mean, it does say you can create different shades of color by applying more or less pressure. You can lighten a dark color with the use of a soft eraser. You can also blend colors by gently smudging them with your fingers. So it's really nice for that kind of, you know, to help people learn how to draw. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say I'm a complete amateur when it comes to this. I'm no professional either, but you know, I don't necessarily work with the cheapest materials. See, now the only thing I'm not really liking right now is that outline color is a lot darker than this light yellow. And you could probably change, you know, if you don't like the look of those colors, you could change it, but I'm already seeing a difference. Like, they're showing that as purple, and it's obviously pink. They're showing that as a bright blue, and it's obviously purple. And I'm using the colors dictated by this pencil. So, and we'll look at that more after I complete it. So let's try this. Now, I was kind of hoping that they would have some instructions as to when it says 7, 8 or 8, 7, because they're in different orders. Like this one's 8-7, but then you get to the next mixture 3-10, 3-10. You know, the small number, then the bigger number. Whereas 8 and 7, so like 8 is the lighter color, and 7 is the darker color. So I don't know. And then like the 3-10, 10 is black. 3 again is red. So I don't really know how that's gonna work. My guess, and it's all I can really give you, is that you're gonna draw really lightly. You're gonna just almost apply no pressure at all when you're putting these in with where the mixtures are, so that you can kind of, because my instinct is to want to blend these together. Oh, and you can hear Tyrion in the background adding his opinion to the mix. He's really probably just wanting me to pet him right now. Because that's his I want attention bark. But he can just wait. We're almost done. I'm literally going to color this leaf on camera. I was going to try to do a spot of each color, but I don't know how easy that's going to be. I just kind of wanted to give you the gist of how you do this little thing. And then come back when it's done and go from there and kind of give you the full review on this. Okay, so now I'm taking my 8, even though it said 8-7, I was assuming that they wanted me to go in order. You know, they say to use 8 first, 7 first, that's my guess. But to me it felt more normal to go with the darker color and then put the lighter color on top. I mean, just can go back and forth and blend until you like it, really. There's no instruction given as to how you would actually get the color. And the colors don't look anything like they do on the box, which tells me it was most likely computer generated and not, like, there's no way that this was colored by hand and then shown. I'm guessing that that was done on a computer and then they just superimposed the hand on top, because he's coloring with purple over a red flower. Makes no sense to me. So I guess, where's my little blending stump? Try to blend those colors together, I guess. I just don't want to put a ton of pressure. The whole reason I'm putting in using the blending tool is to try to get into the crevices a little bit. Yeah, this is just really awkward. Blending. Okay, let's take a look. So that's the result of me mixing the two colors, and that's with me applying various pressures onto that part, and that's pushing down super hard. So I mean, it's not smearing, which I didn't really expect it to with colored pencil. It's not really rubbing away either. So that's where we're at right now, and this is what I'm talking about with the yellow, like the heavy yellow line is still very visible. And even here you can see how it kind of looks like a different color. It might contribute to the painting, but so right here you can see how different my picture is going to be from the box. Like, that purple is obviously more of a magenta, that blue is more of a purple, the red and the yellow are pretty good, but my green leaves something to be desired. It is nowhere near. That doesn't even look like they used colored pencil. It looks like they used marker paint. So I guess whatever way you feel like getting these results, it's just for fun anyway. I mean, it was $1. I'm not going to complain too much about any of it. So when we come back in the next clip, I'll have this all done, and I'll give you my final thoughts as to what I think about the whole thing. And I'll let you know if I use these colors throughout, or if I just do half of it with these and then switch out with my own colored pencils. I do have, like I said, I do have some really good colored pencils. So if I can match them well enough, I might do that. So I think, I don't know, we'll see. I'll let you know when I come back, though, how I decided to end up doing this painting. I just think it's going to be really hard to complete it with these little guys. They're really hard to hold, as you can imagine. Look at it. You should never be able to fit 10 colored pencils in the palm of your hand. Okay, I will see you in the next part of this video. Okay, friends, so I finished the little tiny beautiful butterfly. Look at it. Look at it. It's really cute. I'll talk to you a little bit about this in a minute. I wanted to bring in the pencils to show you what's left. And let me, oops, on some of them, like these two, oh gosh, what a pain it was to, let me kind of demonstrate, because of the way I hold pencils, which is, I don't know if it's all that different. Most people hold a pencil like this. You have to excuse my gross fingers. I've been doing a lot of painting. But like most people hold a pencil similar to like this or like this, some kind of crab motion. Excuse me, I'm not flipping you off. But if you can see how dented my finger is right there, well, in comparison to my other one, it doesn't want to focus because of this painting. It's a little tiny misshapen and you probably can't see it, and I am so sorry. I should have painted my nails just for this video, but my nail dents in because I put so much pressure on my middle finger when I write. So like with a regular pen, I hold like this and I put so much pressure on that part of my finger. I've tried to change the way I hold pens and pencils. Nothing's really stuck. You know, when you're comfortable with something, you're comfortable with it. So me trying to hold these little nubbies was just so hard that I had no choice but to kind of, you know, pinch it in color. So I wasn't able to saturate the painting all that well. Like I started to do that up here with this little section, and yes, I know it looks like my fingernail's dirty. That's just paint under there that I can't get out. I keep apologizing. Stop it. Just focus. So I used a lot of pressure here when I first started, but I realized very quickly that if I did that, I was gonna work through these colored pencils so much that there wasn't gonna be anything left of them. Other than that, they actually had quite a good amount of pigment. I didn't really experiment too much with, like, you know, blending them out other than what I did in the beginning of this video. And in some spots, like the purple there, it's hard to see, the purple and the blue, I did apply a little bit more pressure on those ones to get this blue to be separate, to look like a different color, and the purple, it just looked better with the blue already being super saturated. I did try to go back in and do the black a little darker because those little, it's textured paper and it's obvious on the bigger parts and the darker colors. You don't notice it as much with the lighter colors, but it was not, I sharpened the pencil so much, in this blue color is this one. So blue, red, and black were the ones that got used the most, and I just didn't think I could sharpen it again and be able to actually work with it comfortably. The only other issue I had was this orange one. If you can see how it's way down in there, I had to push it down in there because as I would color, it would start coming out the back end. But I mean, what can you expect with pencils this tiny? So a little bit more about the blending. I found that the best method with these particular colored pencils was to do a 4-layer technique. And what I mean by that, so in these flowers, the color in between the red there is actually red and black mixed. And so what I would do is, see, I'll try to demonstrate it on a different piece of paper. Let me grab my notebook here. So what I would do is I would just very lightly color like that, applying little to no pressure, whereas like that's just a little bit of pressure, and this is the kind of pressure I would have liked to put into the painting. And so then I'd go in with the red and go over it, just lightly, of course. And then I'd do it again, and I'd put a little bit more pressure depending on what color needed to pull through more. And in this case, I needed the red to pull through more, so then on this final layer, then that's kind of when I do circular motions, kind of rubbing the colors together, going in different directions to try to mix them as best I could in the limited amount of space that I had to do that in. But I didn't find it to be too tedious, not any more so than I knew would be buying something this small. And just to kind of give you an idea, I was up at Hobby Lobby and I bought one of their regular sized ones for $5. And so in comparison, I mean, how cute is that? I got this because I thought my daughter would be a big fan of this. Well, for one, I wanted it because look at the colored pencils are so much bigger. It comes with a sharpener, which I don't need. I have a really good titanium one. But in comparison, that's a normal size one and the mini one. So $5 for the bigger one, $1 for that. I mean, you can't complain. I am happy with it. I think it's cute. I might go in if I'm feeling up for it, because it does look like you get the same colors every time you buy one of these. I might go in and actually apply more pressure when I'm done with these colored pencils. I do find that they're pretty good. I know I had talked a little bit about possibly using better ones, but in the end I didn't really find it necessary. I would have if I really needed to. The only thing with this, and I don't have the cover with me, is I did point out that the colors were a little different. In the picture online it shows this blue is like a really bright blue, kind of like this color here, not really this dark color that we see here. And they showed this pink color as this purple, and this purple was this blue. So let me actually grab that so you can see what I'm talking about, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so not big difference, and it really, like I said, it doesn't really matter too much. And there's just subtle differences in this, like little things that I guess I would have liked to have a light blue like that, and if I would have went super light, maybe I could have accomplished that. I can't say for sure, but you can see what I mean. And I did point this out already, but the subtle differences, like this is more pink to me, or magenta even, and that's purple. And then you can't see it too well, but that little butterfly looks like 2 shades of blue versus this one being purple and blue. And then down there, they actually, where this blue is, they didn't actually even have a color assigned to it. So I looked at that and kind of went with it. But I do think, so a couple of thoughts. One, I do think it's well worth the 97 cents or 98 cents that I paid for it. Very much so. As far as 8 and up, I don't really agree with that, for the simple fact of these were super hard to hold, and I can't imagine a kid using them. You'd have to use something else, like you'd have to maybe use your own colored pencils or even markers or whatever. But if a kid was already good at drawing and was already into stuff like this, it might be a good step up from the typical color by number type of products that are out there. But the experience was pretty amazing, and it was so much so that I went and got a bigger one because I liked it so much. I like color pencils. It's my favorite medium, and I mean, it's like neck and neck with like fine liners. So it was really fun to be able to do it. Even I always call myself a fake artist, and I've probably already said that in this video too. I'm filming these quite a few days apart because I'm always doing other people's art, but I don't mind. And I honestly think you could get 2 projects out of this, because you could paint on this or use colored, like markers, I was going to say colored pencils, which I kind of accidentally started coloring right there, and it did start to color over it, but it's It's thicker than tracing paper, so I don't know really how that would work. And I'm really anxious to see how this one will turn out with all the little fine details that are in there. So stay tuned. Royal and Langnickel they're just coming up with so many little projects like this. And Walmart, at my Walmart, it was in the one craft aisle that we have where you could find the paints and the glitters and the tie-dye stuff. That's where I found this, and it was almost hidden under a shelf. They also have like the foam projects and stuff. So if your Walmart has those kinds of things, that's where you might find it. I do recommend it. If this seems interesting to you, I do think that it was worth it. I had so much fun, and I didn't want to put it down. It probably only took me about a day. I didn't sit down and do it all at once. I kind of broke it up. So I don't even think it took me 10 hours total to complete all of this. Oh, and the other little thing that I forgot is, like, right there, they used a white colored pencil, which is a little bit deceiving. I obviously don't have that in here. But I could go back and make adjustments, and I probably will. I'll probably go in with, like, a blue fine liner and just touch up some of the lines to make them a little more sharp, and so you don't see the yellow underneath. So I'll do little things. I like it. I'm happy with it. I'm proud of my work, and that's all I can really say. So yeah, with that, I will let you go. Have an awesome day. Have fun crafting. Have fun doing whatever it is that makes you happy. I love you, friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.